Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Leny. I'd like to present you the EIS information by Sage. So we'll share information on what is EIS and also how Sage Payroll manage the EIS. All right. So we are talking about Employment Insurance Scheme, short for EIS, or in Malay it's called System Insurance Pekerjaan. So this objective of EIS is the contribution begins on the 1st Jan 2018, and the payment of the claims of benefit is to start only a year later, which is Jan 2019. And then the intention is to provide benefit and re-employment assistance for the loss of employment. And it is currently managed by Pekerso or SOXO. And this EIS is applied to all industry as long as having one or more than one employee, and apply to all employee except described in the first schedule. I'll touch that later on. Let's see the qualifying criteria for the EIS. EIS qualifying is that if a person's under EIS contribution scheme is for employer, EIS should apply to all the employer with one or more than one employee. All private sectors affected. For the employee, apply to all employee with no wage bracket. So let's look at the person not under EIS contribution scheme. So any person whose employment is of casual nature, foreign worker, the spouse of an employer or self-employed, employee who are less than 18 years old or more than 60 years old, or new hired, and then when they join the company, it's already the age of 57 and above, is also exempted from EIS. Persons also not under EIS contribution scheme would be the public servant, government worker, and domestic workers, sole proprietor or a non-wage earner, or any person detained in prison, pre-gunny school, places of detention, mental hospital, or leper settlements. Okay, let's see how to register for the EIS as a company. To register company, you either can go to Pekerso counter, go to the office, or you could actually log into the Pekerso online portal assist. So what it says is in the section 15 say that actually employers deemed registered if the company or employer have already registered with SOXO will be automatically deemed to have registered. For employee deemed registered as well, if the employee has registered with SOXO, also shall be deemed to have registered. So if new employee within 30 days from the date of employment. Now, if you want to do the registrations, you can go to the online registration, or you extract this manual form. However, I understand for the SIP 1A and 2A, the form from February onwards no longer accepting manual forms. So you have to go via the assist portals in order to get it registered. Now, talk about Pekerso Assist Portal. This is the portal that introduced by Pekerso for you to have the intentions for employer to manage your company details, employees or monthly contribution information at your own convenience. So it is already available since 16 November 2017. And to access Pekerso, you can see your existing employee records at the portal. You can also add new employee or keep track the resigned employee from that portal. Now, how to enroll? First, you could download the Assist Portal enrollment form, complete it, and bring it to the SOXO branch office nearest to you. Or you can fill in the form, and then you can email the completed form to this ID portal at pekerso.gov.my. Then it will actually process for you and email you back an ID and password. If you submit to the nearest Pekerso office, you could get the ID and login ID and password through the counter. So SOXO will process the form and generate an account for you. It will give you a username and temporary password for you to access. Then you can change the password later on. Now, how about the payments for this EIS? Let's see the contribution schedule. EIS contribution rate would start from 0.2% of the employer share and also 0.2% of the employee share of the EIS contributing wage capped at 4,000 ringgit. So it's come out to be roughly from 5 cents to 7.90. So what is the EIS contributing wage? Huh? These are what we call insured salary, or in Malay it's called GYD, gaji yang diinsurансkan. Means that the employee gross salary for the month which covered by this EIS scheme, which includes salary, payment of unutilized annual or medical leave, overtime, allowance, commission and service charge. Yeah, take note of the income not liable to EIS. This would be including this any contribution payable by the employer towards any pension or provident fund, any traveling allowance or concession, any gratuity payable on discharge or retirement, and annual bonus. So this all not liable to EIS. Now, how about the payments? Payment of this EIS, an employer are required to make this payment of contributions must not later than 15th of following month. So for January payroll, you can pay latest by 15th of February. Now, how to make the payments? There are two ways at the moment. As at 7th of Feb, this is the information that we get. First, you can use this Excel file provided in Perkasa website. It's called Lampiran 1. So you prepare the Excel file containing all the information of the employee and then the month of submission and then the contribution amount. Then you email this Lampiran 1 to this email carumansip@perkasa.gov.my. And in the emails, you need to indicate the name of the company or employer, code majikan, the month and the year, and the you can put Jaruman SIP ABCDE Sendian Berhad, and then followed by the majikan code, and then followed by the month and the year. Then prepare the check equivalent to the total of the contributions. Make it payable to the Perkasa or Pertubuhan Keselamatan Sosial, and then you bring this check to the Perkasa counter and then ask them to issue a receipt for it. The payment via bank transfer or internet at the moment are not available. Or now you could also make the payment via SIP portal. It is at www.perkasa.gov.my. You can see the arrow here. There's this now option called SIP portal. Now, SIP portal require to have a login ID and password. Similar to Assist portal, you need to register to get the login ID and password. Once you get login ID and password, you could log into the Perkasa SIP portal. Then you upload this EIS text file containing the employee name and contributions. Once you uploaded, you receive this acknowledgement code. With the acknowledgement code, you prepare a check against only check acceptable to the SOXO counter and payable to Perkasa or Pertubuhan Keselamatan Sosial, and then you tell them the acknowledgement code and then issue the receipt. Same thing that the bank transfer and internet are not available also even via the SIP portal at the moment. So what the benefit of this employment insurance scheme? EIS. So first, it'll give you this EMP, call it allowance mencari pekerjaan. It's job finding allowances. So it's a monthly payment for 3 to 6 months, consecutive months to assist the insured person who have lost their job in the time of insured person to seek for a job. They are getting 80 to 30% allowance. So the rate will be starting from 80% for the first month and then gradually reduce 80, 50, 40. Finally, on the 5th and 6th month, it's getting 30%. So when the insured person make a claim for the job search allowance, he shall begin to participate in the re-employment placement program by SOXO. Another benefit will be the allowance bekerja semula awal or early rehired allowance, or they call EBSA, and then this is incentive paid once the insured person receiving a job offer from any employer and start the job within the waiting period or receiving peer allowance for the employment at the rate as stated in the third schedule. So amount payable shall be 25% of the job search allowance he entitled to, or 25% of the balance payable. So the insured person should be paid the early re-employment allowance or rehired allowance on the following month after the reported of for duty, and the insured person shall be paid the job search allowance on the month which he reported for the duty. The next benefit would be the reduced income allowance, or they call it EPB, allowance pendapatan berkurang. It's very similar like EMP. This is the amount will be paid a lump sum to the workers who lost their jobs with one employer, but they are still working with another employers as their source of income has been reduced. That's why they're getting EPB rather than EMP. Yeah? Reduced income allowance shall not be entitled to the job search allowance or training allowance or early re-employment allowance. However, if he lost all his employments at the same date, then he shall be entitled to claim the job search allowance for one loss of the employment and reduced income allowance for other losses. Yeah. So with the benefit of training allowance, or they call it EL, allowance latihan. So this is a monthly payment to an insured person for a period not more than 6 months for attending any given training in Malaysia by the authorities trainer. So the rate will be like between 10 to 20 ringgit per day. Also, the training provider fee, all called yuran, maximum 4,000 ringgit to a designated training provider. So not to you as an insured person, but to the training providers. So this insured person may apply to undergo training approved by SOCSO within the period he received the job search allowance. Yeah, so he's still looking for a job, and then he can attend the training, then he get this benefit within the period not more than 12 months after the period he received his job search allowance, within the period of 6 months after accepting an offer of employment and reported for duty. So the maximum period of training shall be equivalent to the period of the job search allowance entitled. Now, so this training allowance shall be paid monthly, 25% of assumed monthly wages divided by 30. So at the rate of 25% of assumed monthly wages on a daily basis, subject to a minimum 10 ringgit and a maximum 20 ringgit per day. So if it goes for number of days, for example, 10 days, if you get a maximum of 20 ringgit, then you get 200 ringgits in total, according to the number of training days attended. The training fee shall be paid directly to the approved training provider at a maximum of 4,000 ringgit per month. So look at examples. If you are insured salary, which is GYD is 1,000 ringgit, then your EMP for 6 months, gradually from 80% to 30% will start from 800 ringgit, and then second month 500, go down to 400, and then 400 again, 300 and 300. In total, he's getting 2,007 ringgit. If you are earning 4,000, then remember the capping, if it also beyond 4,000, the cap is 4,000. So the first month is getting 3,002, then second month reduced to 2,000, then 1,006, 1,006, 1,002, 1,002. In total, he's getting 10,800 ringgit. Now, how to claim for the benefits? So, claim for benefits, an insured person who considered that he has lost his employment shall submit the application for the claim benefit to SOCSO within 60 days from the date he lost his employment. Now, contribution to the qualifying conditions, minimum qualifying period shall be 12 months of the contributions made for a period of consecutive of 24 months. So the number of monthly contribution which has been taken into the account for determining the contribution qualifying conditions of a claim for benefit, so shall not be taken into the account for any subsequent claim for benefits. And then qualifying criteria just now showed that earlier already. So the insured person age 18 above and below 60 on the date he lost his employment fulfill the contribution qualifying conditions as stated in the fourth schedules. So look at the flow. So if you're retrenched or terminated worker, you could then do an online or manual applications to claim for this benefit, and then fulfill the basic eligibility, and there's a verifications of LOE, loss of employment, or record of employments done. Once the proof, the claim, then you got the registration for the job placement and support. Then you start getting benefit 1, 2, 3. At the same time, you go for job counseling or personal support, job search activity until you got the job placement back to work, or in other words, you're being employed. Okay, so now let's look at the retrenched or terminated workers qualification. Who are entitled for this, the lost job? So a normal retrenchment, redundancy, or a voluntary or mutual separation scheme, or forced majeure, maybe due to nature disaster, riot, fire disaster, gas leak, or employer abscond, company bankrupt, shutdown of business due to whatever reasons. Restructuring, automation, digital technology, maybe end up the company is affected. Downsizing, reducing number of employee. Constructive dismissal or default terms and condition terms by the employer. Instructed to perform work beyond the scope of endangerment of safety and health resulted with employee loss of job, or resignation due to intimidations to the employee of his or her family, or due to sexual harassments of the employee. Now let's look at those not qualified if the employee lost a job or because of misconduct, or voluntary resignations or compulsory retirement. This is also not qualified. Or expiry of the fixed term of contract. You're on contract, then you're completing, you're not qualified to claim for this EIS scheme benefit as well. However, if you're under contract and then the employer releases you before the end of contract, then you'll be entitled because the contract is not ended yet. Now, just now I mentioned when you submit for the benefit or claim for this EIS, you're required for the verifications. So these verifications or supporting document would include interim employment or resettlement program registration form, letter of discharge from employer, copy of retrenchment letter from Labour Department, copy of employment record or service record of salary slip, copy of employment letter or agreements document, copy of police report, if example for sexual harassment case, a copy of instruction letters carry out of a scope of work, copy of VSS receiver document, copy of resignation letter. So the original document must be brought together during the meeting with the officer. Now, if you want more information, you could also look at number of websites that has been made available. There are videos, there's a step-by-step guide, and also you could go to the resource center at level 8 Wisma Perkasa Jalan Ampang. Now, as employer then, what must you do? Thirdly, first thing, you must register with the Perkasa Assist portal to confirm the registration so that you could get the account login ID and password. The moment you log in, remember, you could view the employee information that you deem registered. Then you should register with the Perkasa SIP portal because now it's available for the payment purposes where you need to upload the EIS text file. As a Sage Payroll's customers, you also need to update with your latest version, which is version 9943, that has all the necessary functionality, including submissions to EIS itself. So next, let me go through the Sage Payroll update with EIS features. EIS features available in Sage Payroll from the version 9.940 onwards, which is available from 8 Jan 2018. The latest enhancement version is 9943, which is released on the 8th Feb 2018. Latest Sage Payroll, which is the one currently that we have already, it has this EIS contribution tables. So it has been made available to have all the necessary contribution rate for the Sage Payroll to compute the EIS contributions. Now, you could also do this company setting for EIS. What kind of setting? Like setting for the payment tables, whether any payments should be included in EIS computation or not. Things like your commission, director fee, piece rated. Or you can set all your allowance table as well. Allowances that you have, you should tick with the for EIS. Deduction tables, if you have some adjustment that you also want to be included in EIS, you can also tick this portion, so it become an option for you to tick. Overtime table as well, you can tick all this to be subjected to EIS. Now at the same time, you can also do this EIS employee setting. What it means that there's options under the personal called EIS employee settings that give you ability to select or deselect employee contributing to EIS. It will give you a list of all the employee in the tabular manners, like a table. Then you can tick, untick, or tick all. This is useful if you have certain employee which is not eligible, so you could untick these options. Things like foreign workers, or also for those employee like beyond certain age already, they're not eligible. At the personal file maintenance, this will be per employee basis. Just now you can do as a group. This is employee by employee basis. If you prefer go to the employee one by one, you could do so also by going to this personal file maintenance screen. Now, under the employee setting as well, you could also have options to set whether the EIS is all paid by the employer or has to be split between the employee contribution and the employer contributions. Now, next would be the EIS payroll setting. You could also set in Sage Payroll the ability for you to set whether do you want to have the EIS to be computed on the first half, yes or no. Then you can indicate the settings to include or not to include EIS on the first half payrolls. So once you set correctly, the moment you process payroll, in your setting and then process EIS accordingly. Once you process ready, you would have the EIS contribution per employee, and the reports available to show all the EIS informations, payslip, all the basic format from Q, ST, UV, and then all the format is available. So for example here, you can see at the right top below, you can see EIS employee portions, and then on the left side you can see the EIS employee deduction. Management report as well. There's plenty of management report has been updated that you could run to show the column for EIS. It has been added to reflect the EIS information accordingly. Status report also called SOXO view contributions. We add in a column for EIS next to SOXO, so it's easy for you to view the contributions. Now we also released the latest version 9943 on the 8th of Feb. In this 99843, we have made the EIS Lampiran 1 available, because this one we just received last week for the informations. So now it's available. So this Lampiran ones, once you generate things, what it does is actually will export this to the Excel format following the format given by Percursor itself. So it will look something like this. Remember, under the payments instruction for the EIS, you can attach this Lampiran to make payments. Now the latest we received already, this Lampiran one may not be acceptable anymore, because the upload file will now made available. So but as we get information previously, so this is allowed, so we make this file available. Next will be the EIS text upload file. This is the latest one. So you could upload the monthly contribution information into the EIS portal. So this is text file submissions. So it's in the same place called government reports. EIS text file submission. Upon generating, it will help you to generate a text file, a CSV format, something like this, which you can use to upload into the EIS portal. It's not Assist portal, but EIS portal. Next, in the version 9.943, we also added in, although the main two features is meant for EIS, we also received the changes on this CP8 eData pre-filled text file format. There's some changes, so we also include the update. Go to the CP eData pre-fill under the government reports. You click on eData pre-fill. Now you will see the latest versions following the latest format given by the government. We also add in more management reports or export capability. So there's this line numbers, employee pay summary. You can do an Excel export, the 12 months EIS, 12 months EIS Excel, and 12 months pay listing in bracket H Excel as well. So what must you do every month? And now you know there's an EIS, you have registered for EIS, you have processed your payroll. What must you do every month when you complete the payroll? So you process payroll per your regular process, how you normally process the payroll. Then after you finish, you get the approval, ready to submit to EIS. Remember, the deadline is by 15th of next month. So you go to Sage Payroll, you generate EIS upload text file under the government reports text file to generate this EIS submission file. So you don't have to do manual, you can just extract them from our system. Then once you extract ready, this Percasol SIP portal, remember the requirement, you have to register to get the login ID and password. Then as employer, there's the option for you to upload this EIS text file. Okay, once you receive this acknowledge code, print this acknowledge code for you as a reference. Then when you're ready to make payment, you prepare a check amounting the same as the total in your EIS text file. Then you visit Percasol counter to make payment, and then they will issue a receipt for you. That's all. Now if you want to find out more, you could also download our official website at this download at sage.my. We also got the release notes. And if you are on the old version, that means before 9.9.4.0, you need to get the latest one in order to be able to run the EIS programs. So, or you could also renew the Sage cover now to obtain the latest version. Alright, thank you very much for watching and listening, and then hope this information is useful, make you ready to submit for the EIS submissions. Okay, thank you.